We're broke. And we need to stop the out-of-control spending spree that's going on in Washington, D.C.
We face a crushing burden of debt. The debt will soon eclipse our entire economy and grow to catastrophic levels in the years ahead.
After years of discussions and months of negotiations, I have little question that as long as this president is in the Oval Office, a real solution is probably unattainable.
Next week, the House of Representatives will vote on a plan to improve the lives of American families by balancing the budget in 10 years. How do we do it? Well, it's pretty simple. We stop spending money we don't have. Historically, we've paid a little less than 1/5 of our income in taxes to the federal government each year. But the government has spent more, a lot more. And the results are plain to see. Despite the president's promise, the stimulus didn't work. Today, 46 million people are living in poverty, the highest in a generation. 1 in 7 workers either can't find a job or works only part-time. Our plan lets Washington spend only what it takes in. This is how every family tries to live in good times and in bad. Your government should do the same. But the crucial question isn't how we balance the budget, it's why. The budget is a means to an end. We are not balancing the budget as an accounting exercise. We're not trying to simply make numbers add up. We're trying to improve people's lives.
What happened? What happened? I thought they cared about the debt. I thought they cared about the debt so much. What happened, man? Did you see that? They used the debt ceiling as a way to get coverage and as a talking point during the campaign, during Obama's whole entire 8 years, as a way, we're going to reduce the debt. We're going to reduce the debt. And I agree with them 100%. But first of all, you have to understand and realize they complained about the debt and then they added $1.9 trillion to the debt over the next 10 years to give tax cuts to the richest people in the country, the top 1%. 82% of the benefits go to the top 1%. Each person individually gets almost a $62,000 tax cut. And they complained for years. Did you see that? Did you see the way Paul Ryan complained? I care about the American people. I care about them. It's like, I don't know. If you cared about them, why would you pass a law that has $1.9 trillion in debt over the next 10 years? And the funny thing about the tax cuts, it has a sunset provision. So what that means is the tax cuts are permanent for the richest people in the country, so the top 1%. But for middle class and lower class people, your taxes are actually going to go up. Can you believe that? Yeah, you can believe that. But this is just another example of hypocrisy. If you cared about the debt, good. I agree with you. But let's start where that debt came from. I mean, let's think about it. George Bush went into the Iraq War, right? Cost us $2.4 trillion. So far, estimates say it's going to go somewhere between $7 trillion with interest by 2050. We had a financial crash. And if you look at every financial crash, there's like a recipe. It's like on the Food Network. You do 3 things. 1, you deregulate financial institutions, making it harder to monitor fraud. Right? So when they gamble with your money and your savings, because there's no regulation stopping them from doing it. 2, we give tax cuts to the richest people in the country under the guise that it's going to trickle down to lower and middle class people. Right? So you look at 1929, you look at 1987, and you look at 2007, 2008. 3 key things there. 1, Republican president. 2, we give tax cuts to the richest people under the guise it's going to trickle down. And 3, we deregulate financial institutions, making it harder to monitor fraud. So when they pass laws, like financial advisors can lie to you about what policies benefit you over long term and sort of gamble away your life savings in order to make a short-term profit. Because the way the financial markets are set up, we want to make money now over a short time, not over a long time. So I'm getting into a tangent, but don't you see here? Now, if they cared about the budget and they got in office and they did things specifically to cut the budget, as far as what programs we need to cut, if there are programs you need to cut, yeah, get rid of them. If there's programs not helping anybody, yeah, let's get rid of that. Or if there's regulations that are stopping people or small businesses from starting a business, yeah, let's do that. If they're annoying and tiresome, yeah. But if it's a regulation in there for a specific purpose, so people don't fuck over other people, then why would you take it out? But they got into office, and then they give tax cuts to the richest people, the top 1%. How does that help lower and middle class people? Because that's the people who they really represent. So they use the regulation and the tax cuts as a way to say that they're fighting for farmers or small business people, but really they're actually fighting for the top 1%, because both parties are bought by them. You could make an argument that the Republicans are just in favor of the rich in every other way. You can look at the way that the corporate tax cut is right now. It got slashed from 35% to 21%, but 35% is the nominal rate. That's what they supposedly are supposed to pay on paper, but through loopholes like your taxes don't get taxed to you as soon as you bring it back into the country, they can get away with, I think, paying 11%. Now, look at Amazon. Amazon paid zero in federal taxes. I believe they paid $700 million in state taxes. But it just goes to show you, they railed on that issue. They manipulated the media for allowing them to cover. And then they got into office, and what'd they do? They blew up the budget. $2 trillion.